So the question you need to ask yourself is, are you prepared for a power outage? I mean, most of us have things in the house to get us through a little bit of time. We usually have bottled water. We've got some sort of a flashlight. We've got candles. We've got hurricane lamps. I've got 2 weeks worth of food here. And I have this nice weather radio. Plus I can listen to AM/FM without draining my camera battery. Plus I also have a pair of nunchucks. But those aren't going to help. What you need is a generator to get you through the long duration power outages. Now I used to have a Coleman and that lasted me many years. It actually got me through the 2011 storm we had where we were without power for 8 days. So I recently purchased one last year. I bought the Honda, the EM5000SX. I'll go over some of the specifications later on. At the end of the video I'll do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a scenario where we're out of power. Now since I have power, I'm just going to turn off the main breaker and power down the house. I've got my 55-foot cable because I do have the house wired for the generator. So that's it. Let's grab a few items, get a jacket out because it's cold, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we now have a power outage. Another good thing to have, chem lights. You can just leave them here and let you see everything. Alright, let's go out to the generator. So the cable for the Honda is a 30 amp. I'm going to go ahead, plug it into the house here. Another reason why I like the Honda so much is because they're quiet. When we had that storm and everyone around the area had their generators going, I was working nights at the time, so working 7P to 7A, and it was so hard to sleep because everyone's generator is so darn noisy. This has an auto throttle, so once this warms up, you can go ahead and put it on auto throttle, so it's going to kick it down a little bit and it's going to make it even quieter, and then it still comes up when there's a load applied. But just for now, I'm gonna keep it off. I'm gonna fire it up. Another thing, before I forget, Hondas have an alternator, so they charge the battery. When I looked into the Generac's don't do that. So you have to keep some sort of a battery tender on there or a trickle charge on there, because nothing is going to charge it. This charges it when it's running. Alright, so I installed the transfer switch myself. one thing you do, so what it does, it separates it into halves. So you want to try to equal the load on your ABC and your DEF. So you have a heavy hitter like your water pump or your furnace. I have refrigerators and freezer going. I have outside lights. I have living room. I've got it so you can have TV. I have it so there's outside lights. That beep is just the freezer because the power's out. So I'm going to go ahead and start switching on one at a time. And you'll start noticing, you'll see that this is going to show you whenever you have any kind of watts going on there. So here we go. Let's go. And these are safe because line doesn't go back out to the linesmen who are working out there. You don't want to fry anybody. Okay, so the freezer just kicked on. So you can see that it did just come on. It's only taken like, I don't know, 700 watts. With the generator that I have, it's 4,500 running. It has a surge of 5,000, so it'll stay at that time for a while. It also has a 7,000 watt surge for 15 seconds. So you can start up one of the big items, and then it's going to come back down to its normal wattage. Here. All right. So there's some lights on here in the basement. So we're going to go back out to the generator. I'm going to turn the water on, so we can start seeing any kind of a load from the water pump. Furnace just kicked on. So the furnace is on the right side. Okay, burner's firing. Alright, I'm going to go turn on the water so the water pump will come on. You can see what kind of a load it puts on. Alright, so I'm just going to get off generator power. Alright, power has been restored. We got through it. Okay, so just some of the specs. I looked it up. It's the GX390 engine, so that's the cubic centimeters. So it comes out to be about a 12 horse engine. Rated watts is 4,500. Surge is 5,000. So even when I have my, if everything was to come on at once, and especially with the water pump, I'm going to hear the generator surging, but it's keeping pretty good power here, enough to keep the pump moving. It has a 7,000 watt surge for 10 to 15 seconds for larger items to get started. 6.2 gallons. Runtime at half a load will be 11.2 hours. Decibel rating at 7 meters is 66. So I keep this thing at 55 feet away from the house. I got one more here. Got a 3-year engine warranty, low oil shutdown, 232 pounds. that's about it. So they're expensive. They're like $2,200-$2,300. It's a lot of money, but for the most part, Hondas are just going to keep going and going. They've got terrific engines, and they are nice and quiet. Like I said, when they were all running here that year, 2011, it was just noise pollution. It was horrible. I hope this gives you some sort of an idea of what the Hondas can do. There's a lot of generators out there when you're looking for the one that's right for you. This one suits my needs. I don't need a bigger one because it's a relatively small house, so I don't have a lot of high wattage items that I'm going to be using. I have a wood stove, so I don't have to worry about cooking or heating really. I don't even have to have anything on. I just want it mostly to keep the food from going bad. And since I'm on well water, I want to be able to flush toilets. And it's nice you can take a shower during those 7-8 days, because things can get a little smelly. So hope this helped you. Good luck with whatever generator you find, and prepare a little bit for the power outages. You never know when they're going to happen. I mean, environmental emergencies are happening more and more, so we were fortunate that we didn't lose it during this snowstorm, because a lot of people are going to be in trouble. It's cold, but then again, like I said, you can always put your stuff into the snow. People forget about that. And keep a few emergency items on hand. Even a deck of cards with a candle. It's going to help time. It's going to help the time go. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.